I am Robert Myers. I'm 17, and I am going to graduate from Stellar Secondary this year.
For the people who haven't seen your film, what is it about?
I tell people it's about skateboarding, but if you've watched it, it's not really about that. It's about someone's friend going to college and them learning to be able to handle still being friends with them even though they're far away, and knowing that just because they don't live in the same place, they're not actually lost. It was pretty directly based on personal experiences. I had a lot of friends who were either a year older than me or 2 years older than me who ended up moving away before I did, and so I was left here still in high school with like a lot of my friend group being away at school. That definitely inspired me to make this story and turn it into a film.
All right, so this film kind of felt like going through memory lane. Was there a particular time that you wanted to put in this film?
Yeah, and I would say time in general is a huge theme in it, because what spurred the idea was first me being at the restaurant where we shot it just by myself and thinking about all the times I had been there with my friends. And I thought like, oh, this could be a short film where it's someone remembering all the times that they were with their friends doing all these things and then showing it and going back and forth between them. So I would say that it would be the specific time was when I was thinking about all the times that I had been out with people.
You wish you could skate like me.
You got me there. You got me there.
You wanna run ninth one more time before I leave?
Do I? Bro, bet. Bet.
Let's go right now, dude.
This dialogue, it kind of felt natural. Was it improvised or was it scripted?
I did have a script, but funny enough, after I put out the calls for people to be an actor in it, one of my friends who had moved to college or was about to answered. So it ended up kind of just being natural. Like a lot of it was just us talking because he was like about to leave. And he actually had to go when he was like going on that bus. That was like one of the last shots that we shot because he had to leave like right after that.
So while that bus scene, when he was about to leave, was that like great timing? Was it like a really good coincidence, or were you like scheduled for that bus to be there?
We scheduled for that bus. We waited there like 15 minutes practicing lines to make sure we didn't mess it up and have to do it again. And then we had to chase him down in a car and get him at the next bus stop.
So tell me about working with Joseph Henson. You're a cinematographer. About coming up with the look of the film. Like, what kind of vibe were you going through?
I've worked with Joseph for quite a while since he was in the same film class with me, and so we've worked on other projects before. And in a lot of our projects, we've made things have a very light and airy feel, and it was kind of trying to continue that into this, where since I had someone remembering all these times, I wanted his memories of being with his friends to be very light, to be very bright, and to just like kind of flow together. And then the scene where he's alone before he's like gone back in time to remember all the times he spent, to have a more flat and darker, gloomier look. And I think he did great. Like he really understood my vision.
I also want to mention that you filmed at the specific restaurant, and we were wondering how you got permission to film at that restaurant.
Pelmini's, it's pretty small, and there's almost always only one person working in there, so it's a very like chill environment. So I just went in there and I asked. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a very small crew in here of people. Do you think we could just film like right by this window, right at this spot? We won't be that long." And the person working there was like totally fine with it. And so yeah, we were just there like for hours and hours, and we got a lot of food.
I love Palmini's. Your food is the best. I love it so much. So we want to ask you, when did you started first skateboarding at least?
I first purchased and rode a skateboard probably like 4 years ago, but I wasn't really serious about it. Like I wasn't trying to learn any tricks or anything. But probably a year ago is when I first started going out pretty consistently with a group of friends and actually skating.
But what is like your most favorite skateboarding trick that you can do?
I would say the backside 180 because it reminds me of snowboarding, and I've gotten it only 2 times, but both times I worked really hard and it paid off. It was nice.
Can you talk more about the skating community here in Alaska?
Well, yeah, I mean, Anchorage or Alaska in general, not having a huge population, doesn't have as big of a skating community as other places, but because of that, it seems to be a lot tighter. Like pretty much everybody knows each other. Like skate video premieres, you're going to see the same faces. It's nice. You can go to the park, especially the new park on Taku Lake, and you just know like you're going to see someone you know. Or the parking garage, 9th and K, where we were skating. Everybody knows during the winter you're going to 9th and K because that's where you can skate and you're not going to get kicked out.
Filming skateboarding scenes is kind of like its own genre. Can you explain more into that? Like, is it careful to have like a camera with a skateboard kind of thing?
Yeah. I've spent quite a bit of time filming my friends doing skate tricks, and definitely it is a whole different genre. There are so many rules of filming skateboarding that do not exist any other type of filming. Like for doing any sort of pan, you want to rotate around the lens instead of the center of the camera. Because of the fisheye to get like the right effect, or totally just pointing the camera almost straight up when you're doing a follow cam to get the skater's full body in frame. There are all these rules that are like almost never used anywhere else except for skateboarding.
In your film, your character is filming another character doing tricks, but your audience never sees that footage. Can you explain that?
I wanted them to have like a shared moment of reviewing it because I remember that of something I've done a million times, which is after you film the trick, always like first thing you want to do, I'm always super excited, is review the footage. And so I have just a ton of like great memories of just sitting there and looking at it. And it's like definitely very close between the person who did the trick and the filmer, like just watching the footage over. And so that was the moment I wanted to create, and I didn't want it to be specifically about like the actual trick itself.
How did it make you feel posting all of the skating tricks in your film at a film festival? How did it make you feel when the audience were watching it?
I mean, I still feel super new to skateboarding. Like I still feel totally like a beginner. And so definitely it is a little bit scary to start putting out like public displays of me like in any skateboarding related context, because it feels like, oh, I'm still new to this, like I should leave this to other people. But it's a big part of my life, and it's definitely a big part of the story that I was trying to tell. So I felt like I had to include it, and it got a good reception, and so that made me really happy.
What got you interested in filming?
I started filmmaking from the King Tech film class with Jeremy Blake.
Shout out.
Yeah. I went to King Tech. I went to the open house before the start of my junior year, and I was just checking out all the classes, and filming was like not even on my radar, the film class. Like I wasn't thinking about it when I was going into it, but I went in that classroom and I saw how cool it was, how much equipment they had, and like there's so many kids in there that were talking about how awesome it was, that I was just like, wow, this looks great. And I don't think it was my first choice when I was signing up for classes, but I ended up getting into it. And I was like, okay, well, this is still gonna be cool. Like I went to the open house and I was excited to be there. And like it changed my life being in that class. Like it totally felt like I had a new focus, new goal. And ever since then, like that has been my thing, like filmmaking as much as I can. Like I really love it.
Dude, what's next for you? Like, what is your future film projects?
I'm currently working with Dan Redfield, doing editing and production assistant work with him. Dan Redfield is a producer, editor, cinematographer. He does a lot up here. He's a great guy. He does the Adventure for Ava nonprofit films, and that was recently, the one from this year was recently shown at the Beartooth, which I was lucky enough to be a part of, and it was great. I hope to keep making more shorts. I have a few ideas that I want to start working on soon, and probably submit to other film festivals, just put them on YouTube, just keep putting the stuff out there and like working my creativity.